Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Additional Mathematics Form 4 Chapter 2 Quadratic Functions Part 2. Okay, so in this video we will do this question which is from last part, and we will also learn how to form quadratics from roots. So we are going to learn what are roots. But firstly, let's do this question which is from last part. Okay, the length of a diagonal of a rectangle is 10 centimeters. Okay, 10 centimeters. If the length is 2 centimeters longer than its width, find the length and width of the rectangle. So let's say our width is x. We don't know what our width is, right? So we just put x. And we know that the length is 2 centimeters longer, meaning 2 plus the width, isn't it? The width and then just plus 2, isn't it? Okay, and it says here the length of the diagonal. Diagonal means like this diagonal line, diagonally. Okay, so from here to here is 10. So can you see or not? This is a right angle triangle, and we know the hypotenuse. Do you know that this is actually Pythagoras theorem? So our width squared plus our length squared is equal to 10 squared, isn't it? So first we need to substitute our values. Our W is x, so x squared, plus our length is x plus 2 squared, which is equal to 100, because 10 squared is just 100, right? Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to expand this. So x squared plus x plus 2 x plus 2 equals to 100. When you work it out, you will end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus x squared equals to 100. Okay, so now what you need to do here is you need to simplify this with the like terms, x squared. Okay, so here we get 2x squared plus 4x plus 4 equal 100. But we want in standard form, so kita pindahkan this one to make it 0 on the other side. So 2x squared plus 4x. This, when you move it, is plus become minus. 4 minus 100 is negative 96, which is equal to 0. Okay, so now what we do usually is we look at the front of x squared, as I said in the previous video, and get rid of the number in front of it. How do we do that? We divide the whole thing by the number, which is 2, so divide by 2. Okay, so now here 2x squared divided by 2, this one you just cancel. Okay, and then 4x divided by 2, this will become 2, right? Because 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then negative 96, when you divide by 2, it will become negative 48. So simply write that down. It will become x squared plus 2x minus 48, which is equal to 0. So now you have it in this form, and you factorize it. There is a way to factorize quadratics in the calculator, okay? But you're going to have to do more research on that one. But you will end up with x minus 6, x plus 8, which is equal to 0. So here you can straight away look at the values of x. There is x1, there is x2. Okay? So how do you do this? You look at the values after the x in both brackets. Okay? If let's say x plus 6 squared, you cannot get the value of x, but these two are different brackets with different values. Therefore, you can straight away put this. But the difference is their symbols will change. This is positive, right? This will become negative 8. This is negative, right? This will become positive 6. Okay? But this, we are talking about measurements and shapes. Is it logical? Is it like logically, is it possible for a measurement, a length to be negative 8? No, so we call this as invalid or rejected. So therefore you put your x as your 6, okay, and we know our width is x, so the width is equal to 6. Now we want to find length because question says length and width. Don't think that when you find the x is already finished for you. No. Okay. First you have the width, and we know that the length is equal to width plus 2. We got our width is 6 plus 2, which is, put your cm first, equals 8 cm. Don't forget the unit tau. Okay. Alright, so this is your final answer. Very easy. Okay, what about the next question? Let's look here. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Okay. Let's look. Find measurement. When they ask you to find measurement, they want the length and also the width of a rectangle. So let's once again draw the diagram. Okay, with perimeter 26 centimeters and area 40 centimeters. Okay, so first I want to label things. We don't know the length, we don't know the width, so label the width as x and the length as y. Okay, no, sorry, yes, sorry, x, y. Alright, so perimeter is, this is also x and y. Perimeter is when you add up all the sides, right? So let's add up all of it. X plus y plus y. You will get 2x plus 2y is equal to, what is the perimeter? 26 centimeter. So put, this is your first equation. Okay, so you put this as equation 1. And then, this is perimeter tau. Kalau area, you multiply this with this, the length with the width. So x times y is just xy equals to, what is the area? 40 centimeters. So put 40. Okay, so this is your equation 2. Alright, so now simply what you need to do, take equation 2 and find the value of x, and then you substitute that. So when we want the value of x, so we move y, this is multiply become divide. So x equal to 40 over y. Okay, so now you take this one, and you put it in there so you can get y. So you take 1, 2x plus 2y equals 26, and then you put, instead of x, you put 40 over y plus 2y equals 26. So now you have only y in the equation, so you can find y. But right now, we don't want any fraction, so we can divide, no sorry, we can multiply the entire thing by y, because when we multiply, this will cancel out, right? And we don't, so we can get rid of the fraction. Okay, this one don't multiply that, okay, because this is already used to cut out this y. Okay, so here, now you move this to the other side, we can get our quadratic. Okay, so here 2y squared, we put the square first, minus 26y, because this is plus become minus. Okay, and then plus 80 equal to 0. Okay, so now here we don't want anything in front of the squared, so we divide entire thing by 2. So this will become y squared. Negative 26 divided by 2, you get negative 13y. 80 divided by 2, you get 40 equal to 0. So now that you left this with no number, you can factorize this. You get y minus 8, y minus 5 equals to 0. When you want to get the value, you must change the symbol. Y1 equals to negative 8 becomes positive 8. y2. Negative 5 becomes positive 5. Okay, so it's possibility for both because both are positive. But this here, y is only our width, right? We want the length. So you write here, if y equals to 8 first, we do the first one. Okay, then the length, then we know our formula for x here is x equals to 40 over y. So we put that in there. X equals, oh sorry, our x is length, so which is 40 over y, which is, we can replace this, sorry, to save space, we can change this to x, I mean 8, because this is y. We replace y with x, you will get equals to 5 centimeters. Okay, and then you write another one here. If y equals to another one, 5, length is equal to 40 over 5, which is equal to, we will get 8 centimeters. Alright, so this is simply your answer. There are two possibilities, but then you need to make a final answer down here. You need to put when, you need to put like this, huh? Sorry, there's not much space, but it's okay, I'll try to write. Okay, so y equals to 8. When y equals to 8, x equals to 5. Or you can put length and width. Y equals to 5, x equals to 8. So this is your answer lah. Two possibilities. But considering that this is a rectangle, this side is larger than this side, right? So we can say this is the correct answer because the x is longer. So this one we write as rejected. Okay, reject. So that is basically how to do this question. Very good. Alright. Okay, so now we're done with that question with the rectangle. Now we are going to know how to form quadratics from roots. Okay, how to form quadratics from roots. Alright, so the question is, okay, so how to do this question? We are going to have to use, firstly, you need to know what are roots. So roots is basically when you solve quadratic equation, you get two values, right? x1 and then x2, isn't it? So roots are basically those values. This is our x1, this is our x2. Alright, so we know that negative 3 is when you change the square root to negative. Alright, so, or when you factorize it and you change positive number to negative. So right now we are going to use this equation. Okay, this has nothing to do with this now. You just wait first. Okay, look here. X squared minus SOR x plus POR equals to 0. Okay, so what is SOR? What is POR? SOR. Okay, SOR means sum of roots. What is sum? It's when you add them together. When you add both of these roots together. Okay? What about POR? POR is product of roots. What is product? Aren't they the same thing? No. Product means when you multiply. Okay? Please keep that in mind. Okay? That's a very manipulative word. Okay, so firstly we can find, so we're going to use this to form a quadratic equation. When we got our roots, we can use our roots to put in here, isn't it? So first what we're going to do is we're going to find our SOR and our POR. So we know our roots is negative 3 and 6. So sum means plus. So negative 3 plus 6. Alright. So you get here 3. So this is your SOR. What about our POR? Okay, your POR is when you multiply. Negative 3 multiply with 6. You will get negative 18. This is your POR. So right now, you can put this into this equation. Alright? So x squared minus our SOR is 3. And then there's an x. So rewrite the x. Don't forget the x. Our POR is negative 18. So don't put plus. This is negative. Negative 18 equals to 0. Okay. So now, what we're going to do, this is going to be our equation 1. Okay? Alright. So now we take this equation from the given question. We take this equation from the given question. X squared plus p minus 5 plus 2q equals to 0. This is our equation 2. Sorry, in the question actually there's an x here, because then it wouldn't be quadratic. Alright. So these are our 2 equations. So now, what we do is simply use a method in additional mathematics at maths called compare. You compare. So x squared, the value 1 same. What about x? X is normal here, but the values are the same. Negative 3 and p minus 5. So we can get p value from here. So because p minus 5 is negative 3. Okay, why are these 2 equations the same? Because the roots that we are using are the same in this equation. Therefore, they are the same. They are equivalent. So here, we can move this. So p is equal to negative 3. This becomes plus. So negative 3 plus 5, you get 2. Alright? And then here, you can see these 2 are constant. So negative 18 and 2q. So 2q is equal to negative 18. We know our q is, there's no p, sorry. So this is multiply, we move, become divide. Q is equal to negative 18 divided by 2, which is negative 9. So you got your p and your q. Very easy, very good. Okay, so there's another method that you can use if you don't want to memorize all of this. But I suggest that you memorize this part, because you're going to use this one in lots of questions. Okay? You will use this in a lot of questions. Alright? So, let me show you a method 2. Right here, okay? Method 2. We write this as method 1. Okay, so our method 2, what I want to do here is, let's write general form. Okay, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. This is our general form, right? And then you factorize it. Let's say you get x plus 2, and then x minus 1 equals 0. So then you will get the value terus, right? Your x1 equals to this symbol changes, negative 2. x2 equals to this symbol changes, becomes positive 1. But now, so these 2 are your roots. But now here, you, instead of going down and doing it like this, they have given you the roots, negative 3, 6. So basically, you're going to do the same thing, but work up again. So this is method 2. This one is quite easy as well. Okay, so you can use this one if you want. So what you're going to do is, the given roots here, I would do the working down here, okay? Since there's no space there. Okay, so they give you the roots negative 3 and 6. So our x1 is negative 3. Our x2 is 6. Okay. So, the symbols change, isn't it? When you factorize. So this one changed to positive 3. This one changed to negative 6. And then there's always x, right? This is very shocking, isn't it? So it's become negative 6, x, and then there's an x in front of here too. Okay, so now you simply just expand this one. You expand this, and then you will end up with x squared. Sorry. And this is equal to 0 minus 3x minus 18 equals to 0. Is it the same equation that we got? X squared minus 3x minus 18. Where is it? X squared minus 3 minus 18. This is the same thing. So after you do this, basically you just do the same thing. You compare. You compare with this one, and then you will get the value. So this is basically what you do after that. Alright, so this is basically very easy. No need to be scared. And that's all. Okay, let's move on to the next question. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation 5x squared minus 10x minus 9 equals to 0. So this is our quadratic. What is this alpha beta? Okay, alpha beta are just macam, they're like variables, so you don't need to be scared of them. Okay, form quadratic equation with the following roots. So they give us these roots and they give us these roots. But here it says alpha and beta are the original roots. So first, before doing any questions, look here. So what you're gonna have to do, you want to find alpha plus beta and alpha times beta. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna use the format that I told you, or the formula. X squared minus SOR x plus 4 equals to 0. Remember, it's minus and then plus first, and then plus. Okay, so now what you're going to do is that you are going to take the equation here that you've got it, 5x squared minus 10x minus 9 equals to 0. Alright, so here we want to get rid of the 5. This is not into any question yet, okay? First we need to get the sum and product. Okay, as I said, this is sum of roots, meaning the roots, you add them up. And then this is product of roots, meaning you multiply them. You multiply both of the roots. This is plus. Okay, so what we do, we divide by 5. So now what you can do, you can cross this out. Okay, so you will be left with x squared negative 10x. So this negative 10 divided by 5, you get negative 2. So negative 2x minus 9 divided by 5 equals to 0. Okay, so now we can compare here. Our SOR or SOR, sum of roots, is 2, and our product of roots is negative 9 over 5, right? So we know the roots are x1 plus x2 is equal to our SOR, right? Our SOR, and we know our SOR here is 2. Don't count the negative. Don't put negative 2. Yeah, this negative is already here. Okay, what's different is the SOR. Okay, now our POR, x1 times x2, okay, equals to negative 9 over 5. Right, so this is also equivalent to alpha plus beta, and this one is alpha beta. Okay, this is sum of roots because adding up, and this is when you multiply. So you know what is alpha plus beta and alpha times beta. Now we can move to the questions. Alright, let's do this. We can do it. Okay, A. So the roots are alpha plus 2 and beta plus 2. So for A, first thing we need to know is our SOR. Okay, our SOR is basically when we add the roots, right? A plus 2, alpha plus 2, and beta plus 2. So alpha plus 2 plus beta plus 2. Okay, so you can combine the alpha and beta, right? Alpha plus beta plus 2 plus 2, which is basically alpha plus beta plus 4. Okay, so now we know the value of alpha plus beta, right? Here, which is 2. So just simply put, instead of alpha plus beta, you put 2 plus 4, you get 6. This is your SOR, sum of roots. Okay, what about our POR, our product of roots? What are we gonna do then? Okay, simple enough. You multiply this with this. So you basically expand. So alpha times beta is alpha beta. Alpha times 2 is alpha, 2 alpha. And then 2 times beta is 2 beta. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, we know our value of alpha beta. Alpha multiply beta here. Negative 9 over 5. Alright. Plus, and then here actually you can factorize this. You can factorize 2 outside and then alpha plus beta. Because 2 times alpha is 2 alpha. 2 times beta is 2 beta. And we know value. So now we know inside here, alpha plus beta, 2. So we replace that with 2. Alright. So this is plus 4 equals to negative 9 over 5 plus 2 times 2 times plus 4. So you will get the answer 31 over 5. So now you know your sum of roots and your product of roots. But we need to form, the question is asking for quadratic equation. We're not done yet. Lambat lagi. Okay, so quadratic equation here. Basically, what you are going to do, this is our general form, okay? We know that the sum of roots or SOR is at the x, right? X squared, and then SOR, and then x. So our SOR is in front here, and then our POR is basically the C itself. So we can put in the question, we can put x squared, and then we got here 6 minus 6x. Why I put minus? Because in the formula here, x squared minus SOR. Okay, and then you plus 31 over 5, you get 0. So now, as I said, we cannot have any fractions in our quadratics. So we multiply this by 5. So here you can potong, isn't it? So here first, you get 5x squared. Negative 6x times 5, you get negative 30x. Plus this one you cross out, 31 equals to 0. So now you've already formed your quadratic equation right in the hands of you. Alright, so this is the solution for A. Now what about B? I want to do B now. Okay, B, it says the roots are 5 alpha and 5 beta. Okay, so we do the same thing. Our SOR, sum of roots, is basically 5 alpha plus 5 beta. Right? Okay, so you can simply factorize this. Both have 5. So put 5 outside, inside 5 alpha plus beta. Because this one here, when you multiply this, 5 alpha, 5 times alpha, you get 5 alpha. 5 times beta, you get 5 beta. Okay? So we know alpha plus beta, as I said, we can use this here, 2. Okay, so replace alpha plus beta with 2 and you get your SOR simply 10. Okay, what about our POR? Okay, so first let me separate this. Sorry. Let me just separate both questions so we don't get mixed up. Alright, So what about our POR? Our POR is multiplying both 5 alpha times 5 beta. Okay, so basically you multiply the numbers and then you put the letters, so you get 25 alpha beta. Okay, so we know the value of alpha beta, right? Alpha beta is negative 9 over 5. Okay, so 25 times negative 9 over 5. Here you will get yes, okay, sorry, you can cross this out, 5, this become 1, so negative 9 times 5 is negative 45. So now you simply put in the quadratic x squared and then minus, what is our first one, so 10, and then put your x plus negative 45. Instead of putting plus, you put negative 45 equal to 0. Okay, so this is your final answer for your quadratic in the hands of you once again. Okay, so that's it for this part. Thank you so much for watching, and I will do another part continuing. Thank you.